Patches by Reddit user okday8930. We all remember the ad when it first came out. The newest advancement in medicine, the Forget Patch. One patch and you'll be able to forget any memory of your choice. Want to watch your favorite TV show for the first time again? Patch it. Want to forget that embarrassing memory from the office work party? Patch it. Check at the pharmacy near you. And things were going great at first. People were able to forget the bad things and remember the good. Forget the heartbreaks, the humiliations, the pain. Until people got the idea to use these patches in other ways. Domestic abuse hotlines got less and less calls as partners used them on one another. Witness testimonies vanished as patches were slipped into the witnesses without their consent. Flash mobs would target a random person and slip as many patches on them as possible, rendering them practically memoryless. The FDA banned these patches, but of course people started working on them, making them in home labs, mixing and matching ingredients to make the desired effect, and we can only wonder what the side effects of these black market patches might be. I just wanted her to get out of my house, by Reddit user Nocupofkindnessyet. People said our names in the same breath, mixed us up. We were nothing alike. For 20 years I had been fighting the fight, before I was ever in government. I have soldiered on while people called me a harridan or a conspiracy theorist, or as a restraining order no longer allowed on their lawn. She popped out fresh from the womb and started complaining that I was too willing to work within the system, not radical enough. She started haranguing me for not going along with her outlandish proposals. She started adding me on Twitter. I told her she needed to stop. Couldn't she tell that we were on the same side? Didn't she see our enemies reveling in the catfights between us? Didn't she realize that I was too busy serving the American people to be dragged into the drama with the fugly little brunette bitch like her? They punished me for saying that, as if we haven't all been called worse, including those crybaby feminazi Democrats. They took me off my committees. She smiled so cute when she passed in the halls. Well, I got mine. Her husband has a Twitter too, you see, and although he'd never go for a woman my age under normal circumstances, he had a lot of built-up resentment. She's supposed to be my housewife, he bitched. I openly rolled my eyes. Our mutual antipathy made the sex even better, but no orgasm can compare to the sight of her storming towards me in the halls incandescently furious. We went back and forth, ruining each other's lives until we got an offer. A regulation boxing match between us. Loser resigned. Was it good optics? Good politics? Who knew? It needed to happen. I emerged into the arena draped in the American flag. The cheers and jeers blended together into one cacophonous sea. I raised my fist, basking in the acknowledgement. She didn't seem to notice the noise at all. She kept her gaze on her feet. It was only when we stood across from each other and she looked up that I saw that her eyes had become furnaces of pure rage, her perfect teeth barred like a wolverine's. I shivered. For a second, I even considered dropping out. When the bell rang, she sprang across the mat like a wildcat. I buffeted her in face with punches. She didn't flinch, didn't react at all. With a wild sweep of her arm, she knocked my fist away from my chin and lunged for my neck. Her teeth clamped down, sliced. I wailed, thrashed in my panic. The referee tried to pull her off. She was incorrigible. The lights bled together into a haze. When they finally pulled her free, I saw the blurry shape of her, maw encrusted with blood, taut body painted red with it. The cheers swelled, her chest heaved. My God, I realized as I watched them salivate over her, she's gonna end up president. The Pus Monster by Reddit user originallowcott3788. I'm not scared of the Pus Monster, are you? The little girl said to her brother. Of course not. They looked out the window into the forest. Behind, the CNN newsman read, Manufacturer exports were at a record low today as absenteeism hit 70%. Trade Secretary Ronson claims that supply chains in Western Europe have all but collapsed, and the U.S. is looking into fostering relations with the developing world where labor laws were more lax. And in the sports zone, we bring you yesterday's Iowa State Chess Championship highlights. You should be scared, the girl continued as the northern red oaks waved in the breeze. The Pus Monster has skin made of crusted custard, and he has pink eyes, and when he touches you, you get so hot that they could fry an egg on your forehead. I'll show you, he said. We'll go outside and climb those trees. They hadn't been outside since day zero. All schooling was done online if the electricity grid wasn't failing. Their mother drifted off to sleep on the sofa, exhausted from pneumonia that refused to clear up. The two kids sneaked outside and climbed the lower branches. There was no sign of the Pus Monster. The world had never looked more pristine. The birds swooped and dived, stirring the summer flowers. The nearby water of the stream tinkled. Golden arcs of sunlight cut zigzags through the flaming canopy of the oak. "Tyler, Emma, get down from there," their mother's voice cut through the Eden. The boy panicked and lost his foothold, tumbling down until he hit the earth, a fallen branch sticking through his calf. "No broken bones," the doctor said, "but that puncture wound runs deep, and the risk of bacterial infection is high." The boy's mother rushed forward with rubbing alcohol. Rubbing alcohol was now more precious than water from Lourdes. "Please, miss, the wound has been disinfected as much as possible." The woman held boxes and boxes of antibiotics, reading the titles to the doctor in a blind panic. "Amoxicillin? Nope. Cephalexin? Nope. Trimethoprim?" The doctor sighed. "I understand your distress, miss, but feeding him dose is little better than giving him Tic Tacs. I'll be on my way, and if the infection worsens, well, we'll cross that bridge together." People had called it Day Zero, but it happened over a few days. Day Zero entered popular parlance when vancomycin failed, and then slowly the rest fell too. The rise of antibiotic-resistant bacteria. The little girl approached her brother's bed and stroked his forehead. "Almost hot enough to fry an egg on," she thought. "Did the pus monster get me?" the boy rasped. No, you're fine," she kissed his clammy cheek. But no matter how hard she tried, she couldn't look away from his calf, where an increasingly large yellow stain was spreading over the white bandage.